This is just out of control. People that want to pass off regular pets as service dogs, and it is so easy now to do that, given the fact that you can simply go online and buy a collar or a vest for your dog that says service dog, and that voila, they become a service dog. And airlines really have no way to check this. It's difficult to enforce because there's no official U.S. registry for service dogs and service animals, and they're not required to wear special vests, collars, or harnesses. It just seems like a sham. Now, we've had Shannon Walker on before. Shannon is one of the real troopers. She's an expert on service dogs, trained service dogs. It takes a lot of money to train a service dog, but she has done that for many, many years with Northwest Battle Buddies. And I wanted to get Shannon on to talk about this, that it just looks like it's spiraling out of control. Shannon, welcome back to 700 WLW. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Now, you know what's going on here. People just want something they really don't need or have to pay for. And I wonder where the fault lies here. Is it with the U.S. government for not having a registry? Is it with the airlines for not checking out whether or not what this person has is truly a service dog? I mean, where is the epicenter of this problem?
Well, you know, I think the bottom line is, my dad always said, it comes down to personal responsibility. Unfortunately, we're going to have to put in laws to protect the disabled because there's such a gross abuse of the privilege to be able to take a dog that serves you with a disability out in public without being bogged down with regulations, financial, for those that are actually able to train their service dog themselves.
Right.
And if people would just be responsible and not go out there fraudulently, because they are committing fraud. Mm-hmm. And, it's about personal character. And even though people say, well, what does it matter? I'm just taking my pet out. It makes me feel better. It truly is hurting the disabled. We deal with veterans. We provide service dogs to combat veterans who have PTSD at absolutely no charge. We provide these highly trained dogs.
Yes.
And it is a constant battle because of dogs that want to attack our dogs. Not only that, but it changes the way that the public sees the service dog industry because they can't tell the difference. They just know they were bothered. They can't tell the difference between a fake service dog and a real service dog when it's out in public, unless obviously it's being unruly. And because businesses are so afraid of being sued, they are not being kicked out and dismissed, and disallowed access like they need to be. And it's a real challenge, and so that's why, we're working diligently to try to affect our lawmakers and have a voice. And thank you for this show to talk about and bring awareness to this problem that is affecting everybody,
sure.
All industries, airlines, stores, and civilians and disabled.
Well, you make a great point. There is the legitimate side of this, which you operate under, and then there is the non-legitimate, illegitimate side of it, which is basically people just, for $100 they get a vest, they get a collar, and all of a sudden everybody thinks they have a service dog. There has to be those. Shannon, there's got to be something, some piece of legislation that doesn't infringe on the rights of those who are playing the game correctly, yet doesn't allow those who want to get in on this scam to just continue getting in on this scam. I saw where the governor of Hawaii refused to sign a piece of legislation that would outlaw dogs that had, or outlaw the ability for dogs to get these fake service vests. He didn't sign it, just sat on his desk. So because of that, it's going to become law on January the 1st. But then you get into the whole issue of, well, how's that enforced? How do you know for sure? And I don't, there's got to be something that can be done legally to keep everybody that's legit in business and everybody that's not out of business. I don't understand where that piece of legislation should start. Do you?
Well, actually, I'm actually at a service dog conference in Virginia right now, and normally, I'm in Washington State. Even though our organization is nationwide, I happen to be here, and we are discussing this very thing. We are discussing what we need to do, getting with the airlines, a legislation or an actual real registry that can be backed up to where people with legit service dogs can be allowed access to bring accountability. Unfortunately, the way the ADA set up the laws, it was to not infringe and make the disabled more frustrated with having to jump through more hoops. But unfortunately, that is exactly what is going to happen on a minimal level. But the fact is laws do have to be put in place. which is going to bring not only accountability, but it will be a blessing to actually have the correct laws and structure put in place to get rid of this issue, because it's hurting everybody and it's frustrating everybody. And you're right. Who is to determine what is a real service dog and what is not? And when you are a disabled person and you have a legit service dog, which is actually functioning as a piece of equipment, that is the legal thing, the definition. It's a piece of equipment that is serving their disability. And if you're having to constantly defend it, then especially for our men and women who served our country that had PTSD, they didn't want to go out in public in the first place.
Right.
Now they're actually going out in public and living their life, and now to be scrutinized is devastating.
You know, and again, you raise service dogs. This is a very expensive thing to do. I think we talked about this. It's like $30,000, and then you just turn around and give that service dog away to a veteran that has suffered from PTSD. So we're not talking about somebody just ripping other people off or ripping the concept off for $100. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars here.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, our men and women who have served, it is the least we can do, because where would we be without our freedom? But you're right. I mean, there is so much work and professionalism and dedication that goes into training those service dogs. Our personal dogs go through training for a minimum of 7 months. Yeah. And then our veterans leave their homes and families and come and train with us 5 days a week for 6 weeks, learning how to navigate life and pass testing with that service dog before it's gifted, and then they recertify every year. And so they do not take this lightly. They are very dedicated, and to have people walk in fraudulently and ruin the public's opinion and create a liability for the people who truly have worked so hard to be able to just get on with their life with disabilities. Yeah. It's really tragic. It really is a tragic situation.
Yeah. Shannon, great having you on. How do people find you if they need to find you?
NorthwestBattleBuddies.org. We are completely privately funded, and we so appreciate any and all support or help, and Northwest Battle Buddies is all spelled out.
All right, Shannon Walker, thank you so much for your time. You have a great day.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
It is a major issue.